149 pounds. Tonight's feature match is brought to you by PerlerWrestling.com. For camps, private team camps, and DVDs, it's Perler Wrestling. Here we go, a pair of undefeateds. These two no strangers to one another. Sorensen and Retherford in a 1-2 matchup.
Yeah, this, met quite a few times here over their careers. Last season in the duel at Iowa City was the closest that Sorensen was able to get with that 9-8. It was just a war, and fun match to watch that went to overtime. And Retherford, the champion, was able to come out. We'll see, these guys know each other so well that the windows for their technique are shrinking. They've felt each other quite a bit. They know what each guy is going to do. And to the point where they can go out there and they're not thinking as much. They've already thought about this so many times, and in their sleep, they wake up in the middle of probably the night in these type of matches, these type of situations. So both guys, I expect just to go out there and let it flow.
This is the fifth meeting between the two. Retherford 4-0. Since that meeting you referred to, they met at the NCAA Championships, and it was a first period pin for Retherford. And with Retherford, you got to stay out of that bow and arrow.
Yeah, and where you've seen Sorensen really do well is he's been able to go ahead and do what he's doing right now with his hands are moving. He's able to go ahead and stay out of the, his hands are moving and his feet are moving, and they're moving in sync. Not out of position, and what Retherford likes to do, he is constant motion. You look at Zain Retherford in a wrestling room situation and he walks by you, you just don't see that great athlete or athletic build. Well, boy, I tell you what, you get out there on the mat with him, and he just breaks guys down, and he's so strong in the right spots, great strong hands. He's just...
he's the Zaniac, Jim.
He's
the Zaniac.
He's unusual. Yeah, nice shot. Beautiful misdirection on that shot.
In deep, elbow deep, reaching for that far ankle. There's a takedown for Retherford, and the net line leads it 2-0. Retherford 57-0 in dual meets for Penn State. Sorensen 33-1 all-time in Big Ten duels. His only defeat was to Retherford. And this is where he is so tough in this top position. He just mauls you. I don't know of any other way to describe it.
Yeah, that was just a great misdirection shot right there. Just a little fake to one side. It was subtle, and he came back and attacked the single. And this is not what Sorensen wanted to see, but the one thing that impressed me about him is he's been able to go ahead and get out several times against Retherford, and it's pretty tough to have that happen when both legs are in like this, but for a lot of matches he's been able to close down those pockets, keep the legs out, not in this instance. So it's going to be pretty tough for Sorensen. You just got to almost assume that you're going to go into this period now with a 2-0 deficit, unless you want to hip down and get into a roll fest here with him, and he's already too spread out to do that. So you just got to take your punishment and get on to the next period.
And with Retherford, the top position, it's such a game changer strategically.
Yeah, it is. I mean, what he does such a great job of is that he doesn't ride to, there's no clingy legs. He's power punishing, and he does a great job of turning the hips when he gets in there. So this is a break for Sorensen here with the stoppage there. So see what he's been coached to do off of his first move. Inside, does a great job of fighting off there. Sorensen gets up. Again, that's well coached there by Brandon Sorensen. Did a nice job with his back pressure, getting out. Take a look at that Retherford takedown. It was really impressive to me here. You take a look at the fake one direction, just the double, and then switch into a single right there. It almost looked like his head was on Sorensen's right hip for a while. Make it look like he was going straight there, but then he switched off to that single. It was pretty impressive. Good finish. And what he does so well is that he drives through and stays below the waist.
And here in the second period, we didn't see that same movement off the bottom right away from Sorensen that we saw off the restart to close the first. Yeah,
you've got to go almost do the same thing. You just can't allow yourself to get in a resting position there. And so, again, he's got the back pressure. Yeah, trying to free the hands. And you got to make sure your right elbow doesn't come out there, because Zane's going to go ahead and grab that wrist. Yeah. That time he forced it a little bit, but he's been as successful as anybody with that force. And right there. Yeah, a lot of times what I like to see a guy do is right from that position. He may be getting a little bit high, so he's going to push that away. He's doing the correct technique right there, what he has. But maybe if you move the other direction, and a little bit of hip separation, most guys give up on this technique right now. And that's a stoppage that was in favor of Retherford that time, so they're 1-1 on the stoppages.
2-1 match, riding time over 2 minutes. Retherford, 3-time All-American, 2-time NCAA champion.
Head on the midline.
Curious to see Sorensen here, Jim, off the whistle.
Yeah,
not much.
Well, no, there was a lot there, Shane. He jammed him, put a lot of pressure forward on him. So now you can see Retherford really committing to that, getting that leg in, and sometimes you just go ahead and try to pull him onto top of you so you can put that leg in. But Sorensen is pretty skilled. He's trying to get Retherford off to the side, trying to get the saddle off to the side. And Retherford is just battling that the whole way. He's keeping the saddle in the lower part of the back there. Wow, that was good work. I mean, that's subtle stuff, but that was a real battle right there to stay in that top position.
Riding time nearly 3 minutes.
Yeah, and Sorensen has put a lot of energy out there right now. Now he's got, and when he gets this figure four in here, I look at the left leg. See how he's getting that left leg off the ground, not allowing that knee to sit. And that's just a obligatory call for the fans there with the stall warning. So
here's a look back at last year inside Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Yeah,
that was a great match.
Yeah, and here's where Sorensen was able to get to the legs and drive through. He brought himself into that match, and also what impressed me about this match was he's able to get an escape, but Retherford's escape was the difference in the match in overtime.
Now Retherford goes on bottom.
Yeah, I don't expect Sorensen to be too committed to the ride. Yeah. Let's go ahead and try to get this done on the feet. But there's activity. You know, the one thing that I recall about this match when it was 9-8, Retherford, for whatever reason, just wasn't as active in the match. I see a very active Zain Retherford. And being a national champion, you know, he's going to look to, you know, this is way too early for him to go ahead and shut down in a 3-1 match. He's looking for offense right now, and that's a great time to get it when the other guy's stalking you and almost in a desperation mode. And Sorensen can't wait. Wow.
Great counter from Retherford, timed it perfect.
No points yet, though, but here's the work he's putting in. Gets the far ankle. That's just well done. He does as good a job as anybody in the country finishing below the knee off that single leg, where a lot of guys get bogged down with the shin whizzer. They get bogged down with the you know ankle pass situations. Not Zain Retherford.
Neutral, neutral, neutral.
Another guy just constantly moving forward, has a 2-on-1 at the wrist.
Yeah.
Easy, guys.
So physical.
Yeah, both guys are, both guys have physical styles. But you can see that they're both moving pretty good. They're pretty fresh with 30 seconds left in the third period. Just the difference in the match has just been Retherford, once he gets the takedown, has been his finishes #1, his head-hands defense #2, and #3 is, of course, his toughness on the top position.
Just solid in all positions.
Yeah.
And it's been a great career, so fun to watch. This is, again, he's one of those guys, Jimmy, DVR.
Hodge Trophy winner last year. Certainly will be in contention for it this year.
It'll be a 6-2 decision with the riding time. Retherford over 3 minutes. Now 5-0 Retherford over Sorensen in his career. The Zain train is moving, Jim.
Yeah, good solid win, and again, never let off the gas.